Welcome to the Grow My Cleaning Company podcast with your host, Mike Campion. If you are passionate about the cleaning industry, you are in the right place. Love what you hear? Spread the word and tell the cleaning world this is the place to be. Want more? Check out www.growmycleaningcompany.com for free online video trainings, free ebook downloads, free blog posts, and of course, all the podcast episodes. Everything you need to grow your cleaning company is at www.growmycleaningcompany.com. And now, on with the show.
Welcome to the Grow My Cleaning Company podcast, where I coach owners of cleaning companies every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on anything and everything related to building and growing cleaning companies. If that's you and you are committed to growing your cleaning company, check out growmycleaningcompany.com and get everything you need to create the cleaning company you've always wanted. If you want to be a guest on the show, if you've got any feedback, questions, all that good stuff, you can email our producer Natalie at growmycleaningcompany.com. Or just give us a call at 480-648-5149. We love hearing from you, Cleaning Nation. Today, we have an absolute special treat for you. I am chatting with Steffanie from HomeAdvisor. Most of you guys have known who HomeAdvisor is. Actually, I've heard so much buzz from Cleaning Nation about HomeAdvisor and using them and not using them. I reached out to them. They were super nice, agreed to be on. We've got the lovely Steffanie. If you want to get a hold of her or her team, you can get a hold of them at public relations at homeadvisor.com. Steffanie, welcome and say hello to Cleaning Nation.
Hi, Mike. Thanks so much for having me.
It is so nice to have you. She promised to be charming. I said, I'm not really feeling it, so I'm going to kind of be boring today. But Steffanie said, don't worry. I'm going to pick up the slack. I'm going to be terribly interesting. And here we are.
Well, I had an extra cup of coffee before I jumped on the phone with you, just for that reason.
Actually, my Cleaning Nation has told me no more coffee before I get on. So you can have my cup because I'm usually too out of control. So it's nice that I think we'll meet in the middle.
That sounds good. Maybe half decaf, half calf.
Preach it, sister. I'm going to take a couple deep breaths and pretend like I'm not fully caffeinated. So before we jump into all the professional hoo-ha, I would love to know about you and how in the God's green earth you got involved with such a cool company like HomeAdvisor, aside from the oodles of money I'm sure they pay you.
I actually tracked them down. They were pretty well known in Denver. We've been in Denver about 17 years now, and I had a friend that worked here and spent some time talking to her, learned a lot more about the company, and after a little bit of arm twisting and me being charming in interviews, I started with the company about 3 years ago.
Nice. And have you been doing public relations the whole time, or did you start with like a real job and then move into this cush job of just hanging out with idiots like me?
Oh yes, I started by making all of the business decisions. No, been in public relations the entire time. Really enjoy it. Get to work on a lot of different projects. Get some experience working with some homeowners and professionals, and getting to talk to some great podcast owners, creators, reporters such as yourself. So really enjoy it.
Awesome. All right. Before we hit the professional stuff, do you have any good, the PR people always have the good stories. Do you have any good stories of something went horribly wrong that you had to fix, or cool people other than me, of course, that you had to meet? You got to have a juicy story hiding back there.
I'm not sure I have a juicy story. I think I just have, I feel like the world of PR is ever changing. I think one of the cooler things, a lot of cool things, but one of my favorite memories of working here so far is that we actually put on a panel discussion in D.C. Earlier this year in February to talk about the trade labor shortage. And we got about 13 different guests together to talk about what are some of the problems that contractors and plumbers and electricians are running into when hiring more pros for their types of home projects, and kind of what are some things that we can do to hopefully improve that in the future. And that was very cool, first of all, because it was in D.C., and second of all, just because it's been a pretty hot-button topic and something that I care a lot about. So that's probably one of my best memories.
Well, allow me to retort. First of all, congratulations. That sounds like a cool opportunity. And second of all, thank you very little for the non-invitation I didn't get in the mail to be on the panel. I'm just saying. I'm right here.
Where was my introduction email to you in like a year ago, Mike? That's lack of research on your part.
Clearly, I like that instead of taking the crap, you're like, oh, we're playing that game, and you give it. You were obviously in PR. I'm obviously outmatched, outwitted. So we're just going to talk business. I won't try and pick on you anymore because you're too fast for me.
Wonderful.
All right, now that we've been ridiculous for where are we at 4.5 minutes, I suppose we should talk a little bit about HomeAdvisor and owning cleaning companies and growing and how they can hold hands and skip happily into the sunset. So tell me a little bit about HomeAdvisor and why all my audience keeps talking about / asking about you people.
Yeah, absolutely. So HomeAdvisor, as I mentioned, was started 1999, kind of during the internet boom, and it was launched originally as Service Magic, so a kind of a general services marketplace to connect people looking for homeowners, or at that time, moving companies or photography services, things that were a little more general. And they were doing pretty well in business. They were purchased by IAC in 2004. So IAC owns the Match Group, Vimeo, College Humor, they're the internet giant. And HomeAdvisor underwent a rebrand and a name change a couple of years ago to HomeAdvisor and really honed in on focusing more specifically on home services rather than the general services. So everything home related, moving, cleaning, kitchen remodels. I just had to hire a plumber a couple of weeks ago, so over 500 types of home projects. And what's great about HomeAdvisor, we've just kind of hit not a growth spurt, but the company's growing, and we've helped about 35 million homeowners at this point. So we're known for being a really trusted resource for homeowners looking for professionals.
So I was impressed by 1999. That means you guys are like great grandparents of the internet, back when they're like homeadvisor.com. What is it, .com, for crying out loud? So that's awesome. And did you say, how many million people did you say you helped? Because that's a pretty impressive stat.
35 million.
Good Lord. See, I should have done my homework. I figured I was literally in introduction going to say, welcome Steffanie from HomeAdvisor. They've helped literally dozens of people, and now I feel stupid.
Yeah, no, 35 million. We've actually had a little over 11 million project requests just in the last 12 months.
Goodness. So you guys really have kind of taken off recently.
Yeah, we've taken off. As soon as we kind of focus a little bit more on home services, it's just, the growth has been wonderful. And I think, so I'm going to go on a tangent about the internet world and the Internet of Things, but I'll backtrack for a second. And I think the other thing, so we're actually available nationwide. And then, as I mentioned, we are known as a trusted resource because all of our professionals are pre-screened. So they kind of know us as a website that can help them find a professional anywhere in the U.S. for almost any project.
So tell me about the pre-screening, because obviously our audience is owners of cleaning companies, so they're not, certainly if they like it as a contractor, I'm sure they would use it as a kind of end user resident. But let's say from the contracting side, I've got my little cleaning company and you guys look really exciting, but you're kind of big and scary. What does it look like for me to get involved and start working with y'all?
Absolutely. So you can actually you can visit the website, or you can call one of our sales professionals, and they can kind of they can provide some more information. So it's not a difficult or a scary.
They shouldn't call you at home at midnight and you won't walk them through. They've got to go to the website. Just to be clear, I want to understand.
Well, you can absolutely reach out to me, and I can connect you with the best person to speak with. But it's a service that's tailored for professionals, so it shouldn't be big and scary. It should be something that they know that we can put together, build a product just specifically for them. So when you talk to one of our professionals, they can help you pinpoint exactly what services you want to cover, obviously, so cleaning services, but if you want to just do maybe just business or just residential, or you're just interested in the monthly services, and then we can pinpoint the exact zip codes you want to target. So I wouldn't want to drive hours from where I live unless, you like being in the car that long. And then from there, we can help you build an online profile that can include some photos of before and after work. And then we also set professionals up with a mobile app. So, they're able to get those to be connected kind of on the go. Because their office a lot of the times is their car, right? So you don't want to be constricted to being at your home in order to get future jobs.
Okay, so, man, a couple questions already. First of all, you mentioned commercial. I just assumed from HomeAdvisor that this was really just for maids and people that want to clean homes. Is there also janitorial services and kind of businesses that would seek you guys out, or would you be a good resource for that?
Yeah, we do have some. We do have some projects that businesses or some tasks that businesses can request as well. Absolutely.
So more residential than not, but not exclusively.
Yes, more residential than not, but not exclusive.
Okay, cool. And then what about requirements? Like, do I have to be a certain size or have a bond or have had certain, how do you vet me? Like, how do I know that I qualify, so to speak?
Absolutely. No, you don't have to be a certain size. Absolutely not. So kind of to enter the network after the screening process, there is an annual membership fee. So you would have to make sure that that fits in line with your project goals. And then there is a cost per project lead, essentially. So a lot of people will, you can turn leads on and off. So if you're not as busy and you want some more business, then you can turn your leads on. We'll send the leads your way. But some people, if they get really busy, like right now in the summer, a lot, they may be having enough business. They don't need that additional help. So then you can just turn the leads off.
Okay, cool. So the way it would work out to sign up, I'd call, there'd be a monthly or annual fee up front that I got to pay no matter what. And then every month I could just use it for the months that I wanted, or if I get overwhelmed, I can turn off for a month or two. That's kind of how it works?
Yes.
And then how long does it take to get set up? Is it hours, days, weeks, 24 years? What do we got?
Kind of setting it up and talking to the professional initially, it's a very quick process, and then it takes a little bit of time just to get screened and entered in the network, and then as soon as you turn those leads on, then you're ready to go.
Okay, so if this is something that could happen, we give a call today, and in a day or two, we're up and getting leads already?
Yes.
Okay. Well, A, that sounds awesome. B, I'm now emboldened to ask a totally unfair question. What do I expect? Is there levels of service, or does everyone get the same amount of leads? Is there going to be 100 people who've been on? What kind of expectation? I pay my fees, whatever they are. What kind of expectations do I have in terms of quantity of leads, quality, how many other people are getting them? What's all that look like?
So I'm thinking of a really long answer, so let me just shorten it.
I told you it was a mean question and not fair to, it was a not fair question. So you get if you need a couple minutes to compile an answer or speak a little longer, that's A-okay.
I'm just bullet pointing in my head. So first of all, let me just say that the number of leads and the experience that an owner of a cleaning company would have, it's dependent on the location. So an experience for someone in LA might be different than someone in Yuma, Arizona.
How dare you? I know people in Yuma. How dare you come at me like that, Steffanie from HomeAdvisor?
Sorry, we end up getting quite a bit of coverage, or we used to, from Yuma, so that's always the first city on my mind in Arizona.
And I'm actually going to get in trouble for this, but yeah, in Phoenix or in everywhere I've ever been in Arizona, we kind of make fun of Yuma. So that's why it's funny that I'm making fun of you.
Oh no, it seems like a wonderful place. I haven't had a chance to visit yet.
It's really hot, and it looks not the most fun ever. There's a McDonald's there that we all stop at, and that's about it. Sorry, Yuma. We love you. As people, you're great, but as a city, you got a ways to go. All right. Please continue, Steffanie. I'll do my best not to derail you constantly.
No, that's fine. And then as far as experience goes, it can vary. Let me just say that. So there are a couple different ways that homeowners can submit projects right now. So I can go onto the site, and then they can just submit a project request. And during that instance, homeowners are matched with up to 3 different professionals in their area. So at that point, I'm trying to think of how to explain this. So the owner could be going up against possibly 2 different people for the same job. So we have the highest success rates with people that are able to call the customer within 15 minutes. Within 15 minutes, then you're 2 times as likely to actually connect with the homeowner and secure the job. Does that make sense? That's one experience. And then there are actually 2 more.
Let me repeat back, because that seems important for what you just said. So if I'm, as a coach, what I would say, and I want to make sure since I've got you, you can be like, oh yeah, you're totally on the right track, Mike, or no, don't tell your people that.
Yeah.
If I'm signing up and I don't know what your fee is, but I'm too poor to pay any money that I'm not getting a return on, I better have a system in place to just be like, hey, 80% of the leads I get, I'm going to be one of those 15-minute guys. And if that means I got to hire somebody or have a phone for it or whatever I got to do, I don't want to waste time and money and then have all these leads come and I'm I call back in 2 hours like, we already hired somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's exactly what I would say. Have a system in place. I think I said 15 minutes, you're twice as likely to connect with the homeowner and secure the job. If you call within 1 minute, if you're just right by your phone and you have that quick system in place and you can call within 1 minute, you're 4 times as likely.
Wow. Okay, that's a big deal. That's exciting. And did you say there's only 3 people that get to compete for the job? So I don't have to compete with 900. They're not going to get deluged with calls.
No.
Okay. So it's me and 2 other people are going to get the opportunity. That's it.
Yes.
Gosh, I'm just getting better and better every minute. What am I missing? Do we have to like donate blood periodically? What's the catch?
Well, yeah, you just send me presents.
I guess you have to show up. That's fair. Us cleaners, we're a little lazy sometimes.
Yeah, you have to show up. That's most of it, right? And actually, since we're kind of going back, let me backtrack a little bit onto some other things that you can do to help secure those jobs. So we did some research and we found out the professionals with 3 reviews or more on their profile are 3 times as more likely to win jobs. So those that already have, those recommendations from other homeowners, they look better in, future customers' eyes, right? That's the first thing I do when I'm looking for. I just had to hire a plumber, so I, went on to HomeAdvisor.com. But I definitely read through all of the reviews, and I actually looked for professionals with, some of them more reviews. If I was looking at someone with, 50 versus 3, 50 is always the place that I'll probably start.
That makes a ton of sense. So first of all, I love that you're kind of giving the answers to the test before the test. So it sounds like if you want to kill it on HomeAdvisor, have a system to have somebody be by the phone, right? Somebody call them back, even if it's, to call them back to set an appointment and do something later. That's 1. And then 2, 3 reviews, that's a walk in the, obviously the first 3 are tough because you don't have any, but gosh, if you just go out and say, hey, I'm going to give you a crazy good deal and give you way better service than you're usually going to do because this is my first job and I want to get 3 awesome reviews, it seems like you could pick up 3 reviews pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely. And then one other thing to note is to put photos on your profile. Do snap a quick before and after photo, as long as that's okay with the homeowner. But that helps too because people are visual. They want to see what the end result is.
And are videos allowed or is it just photos?
I believe videos are allowed, yes. These are my recommendations, but obviously when you join the network, you'll have a representative that you're able to kind of talk to your business about, and they can give you specific recommendations. These are kind of my general recommendations.
Yeah, and total disclaimer, Stephanie's been kind enough as a PR person to come on and just help kind of generally one-to-many, right? There's lots of you guys listening, just one of us. When you talk to the contact, the professional at HomeAdvisor, I'm sure they're going to be able to really hone, it's the difference what I do on the podcast, one-to-many is what I do on my private coaching. So my encouragement, absolutely, if this is for you, call HomeAdvisor and talk to a real-life human being that can answer questions directly. But Stephanie's doing a really good job of kind of giving, I really like that. I didn't realize those stats in terms of how quickly you call and those 3 reviews. Those are huge. Any other kind of tricks of the trades we need to know to be rock stars with HomeAdvisor?
Yeah, I think it's all going to come down to how quickly you can touch base with that homeowner. I think that's pretty much going to be key. Okay, cool. And again, it's not, I get that you can't always be available, but you can absolutely make a system that somebody's available all the time where they just call. And like if you had 3 or 4 people and you just kind of tag team, and here's a fun little secret I would say, is if it was me and I was doing this, I'd go onto Fiverr or onto Upwork or something, and I'd have someone overseas or somebody that when I was sleeping would pick up on these freaking deals. Because it sounds like it's the same price. It's not is it per job or is it just literally the only investment is the annual fee and the monthly fee? And if you get 1 job or 1,000 jobs, same price? No, sorry. So it is actually 1 annual fee, and then it's a project fee. So lead fee per project. No monthly fee, just an annual and then a fee per project.
Man, I get confused so easy. Okay, so annual fee, you pay once a year, obviously, and then just a percentage of the project, which is no big deal because if you don't get a project, you don't pay for it.
Yes, and I do want to clarify, because I think this is a big difference between us and other companies, is that it's not a percentage of the project. It's just a straight fee for a project. So it would differ depending on the type of projects, but something around like $20, depending on the type of project. But we're not taking like a percentage of what professionals earn.
Okay, cool. And actually, that leads me to my next question, because I think I didn't know you guys have been around since '99. So it sounds like you're probably if you weren't the first, you're the first that's still standing, right? Maybe there's someone before you, but they went out of business in 2002, so we don't care about them. There's kind of the new thumbtacks, and it seems like maybe based off your success, everyone else is jumping in going, hey, we need to be, we got to get a piece of this action. How are you guys different, or what's your kind of distinctive, aside from being around forever and kind of being the grandfather, what else is some key differences that we would want to know?
Absolutely. The biggest reason homeowners come to us is that we're free. We're a free resource. Our cost information is free. All of the tools on our websites are free. So I think that resonates in the mind for homeowners. The biggest way we're different than in some other companies that is probably really beneficial for professionals is that we have a suite of on-demand tools. So I know I told you about one way that homeowners can submit a home project by going on the website and submitting, answering a couple of questions and submitting that project. But we also have two other ways to do that, and they both help the professional instantly connect with that homeowner. So one tool is called our Instant Connect tool, and it's available on our mobile app, as well as we launched an home services app for some smart home tools, so like Apple Watch and Amazon Echo and Apple TV later this year. But that tool, the Instant Connect tool, actually allows homeowners, they'll have the option to, hey, do you want to speak with a professional about this project now? And you can say yes, and we will call a professional that is then immediately connected to a homeowner. So none of this, they're submitting a project and then 3 professionals are able to kind of call out. You'll actually be able to instantly speak with a homeowner about their project. And then that kind of takes out a little bit of the back and forth for both professionals and for homeowners. Yeah, that sounds
awesome. But just to be clear, that's something that's coming, but not at the moment of this recording. I don't know when you're listening, but the recording not available yet.
It is available, yes. That is one of the experiences that we have. And we launched that last year.
Okay, so it is is that extra money, or how do I, if I'm like, well, shoot, of course I want that one, how do I get signed up for that deal?
No, it's all part of being part of our network.
Okay, so the homeowner can do the whole, I'm assuming the homeowner leads the dance in terms of, no, here's my information, just have them call me. Obviously you can't make them do anything they want to do, but right now, today, they can say, no, I want to talk to somebody right now, and HomeAdvisor will start calling the 3 or 4, or however many you're going to get people until they get somebody.
Yes.
Why didn't you start with that? That's awesome. I need that in my life.
Because there needs to be some background, man. So for instance, so I know that I mentioned we have an app on Amazon Echo. Have you used the Amazon Echo? I
don't even know what it is. I'm an Apple guy, so Amazon scares me.
Okay, perfect. It's kind of like it's voice activation, so it's kind of like a Siri. But it's
Did they advertise that in the Super Bowl this year?
Wait, say that again?
I thought I saw an advertisement for something like that on the Super Bowl.
Yes, they did. They did the advertisement for that on the Super Bowl.
And you're from Denver, or from Boulder, so I know you were watching my Denver Broncos beat the crap out of the poor, lowly Cam Newton's Panthers.
It was a big celebration around here.
Yes, I was sad that I was not in Denver with my people, so to speak. I lived in Grand Junction for 2 years, so I became a huge Broncos fan and have to take the opportunity to use my platform for ridiculous things like saying "Go Broncos." All right, enough nonsense. I did see that. Tell me more about it and how it integrates with HomeAdvisor.
Yeah, so you can it's a 2-step process. You just say, "Hey Alexa," that's the name of the voice activation technology. You just say, "Hey Alexa, tell HomeAdvisor to find me a plumber or find me an electrician." And then she, says back, she's like, "All right, I'll have a top-rated plumber call you now." And then you have a professional actually call you on your cell phone. In average time is under a minute. So I had to use the service, I think I mentioned again for the 3rd time because I was really upset about this, that I had to hire a plumber. And I used it using the Alexa. And I could literally tell her I needed a plumber and then walk out the door and have a professional call me.
All right, my guess is that process wasn't all that much better than regular, but the cool factor was through the roof. You must have felt like a rock star.
It was, exactly. It was a little bit like somebody was reading my mind and knowing that I was having a tough morning. Then they were just calling to tell me they could fix it.
Yeah, Cleaning Nation, anyone that's got that tool, please use it and video me you using it and send me the video so I can put it up on the HomeAdvisor show notes page, because that sounds awesome. And I'm too cheap and lazy to go buy this tool and do it myself. So I'm putting it out on you. Take a video, be cool, send it in. We'll give you full kudos. All right, anything else we need to know? I mean, first of all, this sounds super awesome. And you don't have to get, I don't know how much into pricing you want to get, but is this big? Is this annual fee like a big scary fee, or is this something a little business owner that just has a little cleaning company can afford?
It's about $350.
Okay, so a couple $100. It's not like thousands, but it's not $20. It's $300-$400 for a year's worth of the service. Not bad. And then obviously the ongoing fees, you only pay as you use it. So if you get 100 jobs, you're going to pay a lot of fees. If you don't get any jobs, then it's cheap, but why would you fool with it, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I just want to make sure, because $350 to me sounds really reasonable. Even if you're kind of on the low flow of, I get it if you're in New York or Atlanta or something like that, you're probably getting a lot more leads than Boise. But yeah, so the last question, tell me about that. You talked a little, and I totally get that, huge disclaimer. Whatever you talk to the professional on the phone is going to override this, because they can give you exact information, I'm assuming, about your city. But just give me a high and a low. Is this something where I'm going to get a couple leads per day, per week, per month, per year? Maybe you can kind of give me hey, here's what the LA stats would be for if you're in a big city, big metropolis, and here's what kind of more rural thing would be. And again, these aren't guarantees, but just so I know, like, how exciting of an opportunity is this, right? If I get one lead a year, not so exciting. One lead a day, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah, I would be hesitant to give you an average, just because it does depend on the area and probably the time of year as well. So I can kind of give you this example. So after I had my giant, plumbing problem, I had to have a drywall repair guy come out, and I was talking to him, and he actually just joined the service, and he had his leads on for I think about a week, and I think he told me he got about 4 project requests.
That's a lot.
And then that for him was a lot, because he actually got a couple of business requests.
Okay, so wait, what's the difference between, you said business requests and something else requests? Are those different, or?
Oh, just project requests, including a corporate request, like a
got it.
A drywall project for a business. Yeah.
Okay, so this is obviously not, who knows if this guy's typical or atypical, but in Denver, that's a pretty big metropolis. I'd say this guy would be top 10 in the United States, millions of people. He turned it on. He got 4 or 5 just in the first week.
Yes, that's what he told me when he was stopping by. We were talking about how he liked working, being a part of the network.
I bet. Although I got to say, if I knew that you were the PR lady for HomeAdvisor, I don't know that I want to come to your house, because if something went wrong, I'm like, I am screwed. She's going to tell everybody.
I think I like to listen more than I like to tell. Want to hear about your experience.
Is it your job to tell people stuff? That's like me saying as a podcaster, I like to listen. I like to talk so much.
Well, that probably helps you know what's going on, so you know what your next move is as far as who to invite onto the show, right?
See, that's why you're a big fancy PR lady, and I'm just a lowly podcast. I'm yapping at the mouth. You're out there listening like a professional. No comment, I can tell. All right, cool. So it sounds like for a big thing, you could get a couple leads per week, not unreasonable. And it seems like even in a smaller area, a couple leads per month, not an unrealistic expectation.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be unrealistic.
Okay, cool. And again, obviously, some are going to do way better and some are going to do way worse. It's not a guarantee of anything. I'm just trying to get an idea so they know, like, okay, that's enough to be worth it, or that's not too much to be scary. And I guess if it's too much to be scary, you can just turn it off, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And just if you're interested, check out the website or call somebody and kind of see what the average requests are for your area. I can tell you overall we get about 500,000. We call them like service requests, but project requests every month.
Okay, so that's good data. 500,000 per month. That's 100,000 per state. And obviously California gets way more than Utah, but still generally 100,000 per state. And I'm sure you got 100 different services, but that's a lot of volume.
I think you did that math wrong. I think it's about 10,000 per state.
Hey, I am the host of the podcast. If I say something, no, just kidding. I'm sure I did the math wrong, but long story short, Cleaning Nation, it's slightly more than the dozens of people I thought that they'd help. It sounds like, we may have thousands at this point. So for $350 for crying out loud, it seems like this is, I hate to say this, it sounds like a no-brainer. All right, before we wrap up, any comments or thoughts or any genius questions I forgot to ask? This is your time, sister. The floor is open. Any words that come out of your mouth, we will record them and put them out to the world.
I feel kind of put on the spot, but I did want to tell you about, I know that I mentioned 2 different ways that homeowners are submitting project requests. There's actually a third one that homeowners can actually book an appointment directly into the professional's calendar. So there's actual no back and forth as far as kind of the calling or phone tag. Right now we do have, we do calendar sync. So like Google Calendars can actually sync with this platform. So an appointment can actually be added directly into the professional's calendar. So that's just another way to kind of get those appointments.
All right, I'm not going to lie. This is making me nervous. Cleaning Nation, what I hear them saying is eventually you're out. Everything's going to be automated and it's just going to magically fix, and they won't even need us contractors anymore. This is getting ridiculously streamlined. That is awesome, Steffanie. I can't believe it's like, man, you could even, if the client's not home and there's some sort of contractor's lockbox on the thing, you could do this whole job without ever meeting anybody. This is insane.
That's the goal for some people, right?
Yeah, I guess that's crazy that it's that automated of a process. So how does the billing work? Just the last question. Do you guys bill and then pay the contractor? Is the contractor responsible for billing? How's that all work?
Oh, actually, the billing is still between the homeowner and the contractor right now. We're not involved in that process. Okay, so then and then they just pay you directly. So if the bid was $350 or whatever, it actually doesn't matter what the bid was. If your deal is $20 a pop, you just pay like HomeAdvisor like once a month for all your stuff, or how's that work? Oh, yes. Yeah, the billing for the professionals is, yes, monthly. I thought you meant between like homeowners paying the... Yeah. No, I did. I meant everything. So homeowners, I got to bill the homeowner, handle that. And then once a month, you guys just be like, hey, here's your bill. You got 32 gigs from us. It's $20 a piece. You owe me, I'm not even going to pretend to do the math because I came up with 42,000. That sounds a little high, but that's how the billing works, right? Yes. All right. When I left the floor open to you, you did a good job and brought up something mind-blowing. So I'm going to give you take 2. If there's anything else on top of that, another awesome thing that you've been holding back, here's your chance. If not, tell me and we'll end this nonsense. Actually, I do have one more thing that I kind of want to talk to you about. I knew it. So I had a feeling. I know. One of the things that I think is really interesting, because people wonder, like, why should you have a website and why should you be online? Like, where, are homeowners still talking to friends and family to find a professional, or are they actually going online? And we actually just saw this, there's this report that the Farnsworth Group put out, and it actually said that over half of homeowners actually go onto a website such as HomeAdvisor to hire a professional. And 95% actually research professionals online before calling them. So they are online. That's where they're looking for recommendations for, cleaning companies. So true. And that goes for everything, right? It used to be back in the day, like, I've got a website, I'm good to go. And that was the case. But now it's like, well, what about your Facebook page? And what about your LinkedIn? And what about your Angie's List? What about your HomeAdvisor? So you're like everywhere. Yeah. So people that put their head in the sand and they go, no, people aren't online. Good luck to you. But that's, we're not in Kansas anymore. That's just not the reality. All right, third time is the charm. I know you've got one more. I won't ask you again, I promise, but I'll give you one more. I know you've got one more tidbit you've been holding back, and knowing your pattern, it's probably the best one. So hit me, sister. What do you got? That's what I have. I don't think I have any more fun tidbits for you. All right, I'm going to let that slide because you've been such an awesome guest. I got to tell you, thank you so much for being a guest on the show. Thank you for putting up with my nonsense. I appreciate you. Cleaning Nation appreciates you. Cleaning Nation, make sure you check out growmycleaningcompany.com. You have the show notes page with links and everything you need to know to grow your cleaning company. You can leave your questions, your comments, your remarks, and I will see you there.
Congratulations! You are now 16% smarter. Still can't get enough cleaning goodness? Go to www.growmycleaningcompany.com for more of the good stuff. Ever want to be rich and famous? Owners of cleaning companies, as well as industry experts, can apply to be featured on the show by emailing our producer Natalie at support@growmycleaningcompany.com. Until then, don't miss out on all the latest cleaning industry lovin' at www.growmycleaningcompany.com. Check it out now.